The New York Jets are doing some homework on the quarterbacks that are available. What does it all mean? We'll talk about it. Boy Green Daily starts now with a special guest.
I'm going to lose my gas-guard bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, and we're built for this shit.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. And I want to say this right off the top rope. I'm sure we'll mention it once or twice more, baby. Here's the big news. We have sold out of our Jets-Cowboys ticket packages, so thank you to the fans. It's awesome. So no more, no mas. No more. All the packages have been sold. Thank you guys so much for your interest. Those are all good to go. If you would like to go to a Jets-Cowboys game now, the person you'll have to turn to is the internet, because we were able to sell all those tickets. Appreciate it so much. Where we do still have openings, of course, is our meetup the night before. So if you do have interest in meeting me and all your Boy Green Coffee Club members and fellow Jet fans, you can email me there on the screen. Paul A ESDENJR gmail.com. Again, my first name, middle initial, last name, JR gmail.com. That email is up on the screen. If you're interested in coming to our meet and greet, we're doing it Saturday night, which will be Saturday, October 4th at Chef Kevin Gilbert's restaurant, which is the Cloverleaf Tavern. We have a private room upstairs. If you guys would like to be a part of that, feel free to do so. We've got about 21, 22, 23 people already committed. We can't allow any more than 60 in the upstairs private room, so keep that in mind as we get closer to the event. If you guys are interested in that, feel free to reach out. All right, without further ado, let's bring in our special guest. He is our resident Jets historian on the show and the author of that book right there, baby, Beyond Broadway Joe, the team that changed football. And he's the guy that changed the show. Bob Lederer joins us here this morning. What's up, Bob?
Good morning from, where am I? I'm in White Plains.
I was just about to say, it looked like a different location, different locale.
Yeah, either that or I'm doing some magic behind me.
Which would be impressive, and I wouldn't put it past you there, Bob. Well, what are you doing over there?
Visiting my son, his wife, 3 grandkids.
Wow.
Because the oldest grandkid, 4, has a birthday. And
that's awesome. Well, happy birthday there. And, Bob, look at your level of dedication. Most people just say, you know what, I'm going to take a week off or so, and I'll catch you when I get back. But you, Bob, you are committed to the bit, and I respect it.
I am never going to mail it in.
Yeah, and I hope we never get that from any of our Jets players. However, Bob, as we sort of start this off, Tyrod Taylor, we already knew about his injury concerns before this season. Obviously, if you look at his 14-year career, there have been a lot of weird injuries in there, and we're already there again. Aaron Glenn a couple weeks ago said, he's battling some general old man knee soreness, nothing to worry about. And then he had to undergo a minor scope for knee surgery, and he's out for the preseason, and they hope he's ready for week 1. So how concerned should Jet fans be about the durability of one Tyrod Taylor, Bob Lederer?
Well, it depends on what your feeling is about the durability of Justin Fields.
Exactamundo, right?
Which is going to get its biggest test tomorrow night for however long he plays, because we already saw in practice this week what the possibilities are. The Giants have an awesome defensive line, and the Jets have a strong and hopefully growing in strength offensive line. So we're going to see a good test tomorrow night. And I don't know how much the Jet offensive linemen picked up during the 2 practices this week, but I hope they picked up something from just the strength and the durability and the speed and the aggressiveness of the Giant sack crew.
Yeah, you mentioned I don't know if that was one of those, hey, that's a rhetorical question, but just the health of Justin Fields, well, he's never played a full season in his career, whether by hook or crook, whether by injuries, which has been the main reason, and then most recently, obviously, got benched by Pittsburgh after the first 6 weeks of the season. So we would have no idea how much longer he would have been able to suit up in his current condition. But nonetheless, he is not healthy all the time, which is almost, until proven otherwise, it was inevitable that at some point we were going to see Tyrod Taylor this season, just for when and for how long. And again, we sort of have to see what happens here with Tyrod, who again is out for the entire preseason, no matter what, with this knee injury. And so they started to kick the tires on some other options. They worked out 2 quarterbacks yesterday, and we'll go to the first one. Nathan Peterman. Oh, God. Nathan Peterman. Oh, boy. I'm not feeling great about this one, Bob. And interestingly, Nathan Peterman and Tyrod Taylor are tied together because if we go back 8 years ago when Nathan Peterman was a rookie, he replaced Tyrod Taylor in the lineup. Sean McDermott, who was still there 8 years ago, he benched Tyrod Taylor due to play and said, we're going to put the rookie Nathan Peterman in. And Nathan Peterman had one of the worst, not one of, he had the worst quarterback performance I've ever seen. And Bob, we're Jet fans. I've seen a lot of bad quarterback performances. This kid on your screen had 5 interceptions in the first half against the Chargers in his debut, and they lost 54-24. And I get that was 8 years ago, but he has more than triple the amount of interceptions that he has passing touchdowns in his career. This doesn't seem like the right rock to look under.
So what else is there, boy? Come on, tell us. Who else is there?
Okay, well, let's go to door number 2. CJ Beathard, or if you prefer, CJ Beathard, is how it looks on the piece of paper. And this is apparently door number 2 for the Jets. Now, they signed neither of these quarterbacks after working them out yesterday, but Mike Garafolo, NFL Network, reported this. This was the other one. This was an old Robert Saleh favorite, so a lot of people thought that during Saleh's time here at some point, because he's a former 49er, I know Alon loves him, he's an Iowa guy, but these were the 2 doors that they were exploring.
Is this the Beathard? Is he related to the former NFL executive?
That's a good question. I am unsure of the relation there, but probably. I mean, it's such a unique name. I don't hear that very often.
I think that's where he started his career. I think he started his career with San Diego. I could be wrong, but I have some recollection of that. And I was wondering back then, if he was, because I think that executive is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame for good reasons.
Hey, there you go. Yeah.
And here's the answer to your question, or one of the answers to your question, and we'll go on with these other quarterbacks. And I'm glad you're updating me. I was traveling all day yesterday.
Yeah, so that's what it's all about, baby.
Yeah,
yes.
Yep. So the thing that seems to me is if Fields gets hurt, because he, as you pointed out, never played a complete season.
Yep.
Although he's never had an offensive line like he's got now, and he's never had an offense that was really just predicated on run, baby, run, and not by him necessarily. So he might make it through. But even if you put Tyrod Taylor in, you can start the clock as to how long he would last.
Correct.
Before we'd either have to go back to Fields or head out to the number 3 quarterback on the list.
Yeah, the thing that and here's what we don't know. So why were the Jets looking in these pools? Is it because they were looking in these pools because it's just an emergency list? And for people who don't know, teams do that all the time. So if a quarterback injury happens, we've already worked them out. We did that part of the process. All we need to do is add them now because we know who we would add in that emergency scenario. Because here's the other thing, right? So Justin Fields is healing up. He's as healthy as he could be. Tyrod Taylor's out for the preseason. Brady Cook, when I was at the Jets joint practice with the Giants earlier this week, he had his foot stepped done, and he looked like he was in considerable pain, but I don't think we heard an update from AG on Brady Cook's status. He said at the time that he didn't think it was going to be serious, but they didn't know that about Justin Fields either, and then they went inside the building and came up to other conclusions. So this could be simply just a preseason thing, a camp arm to get us through if anyone's hurt, or it could be something more serious.
Yeah, well, the Jets, as we all know, are going to be running on first and second down, and even a lot of the time on third down. Any replacement quarterback is going to have to learn how to hand the ball off more than anything else. But still, you have to have some competency in throwing it. And that's the real problem. That's why the 3 guys they've got now, if Tyrod is healthy, would be, the best possible choices. But hey, you got to play the cards that you're dealt, and let's just hope that they can go as far as they can this season without injuries to quarterbacks. So, and that's going to really heavily go on the offensive line, and hopefully, no one's going to step on his foot again.
That'd be nice. We haven't had, so in the last 10 years, there have only been 2 seasons in which we've had a quarterback start every game of the regular season of the season they were in. 10 years ago, Ryan Fitzpatrick did it. Now, people always try to combat that because Ryan Fitzpatrick didn't finish every game that he played, but he did start every game. The one game he didn't was when they played the then Oakland Raiders 10 years ago. He got hurt at the beginning of the game, and Geno Smith had to come in. So that was a wild experience. But he did start every game of that year. And then last year, Aaron Bleepin Rodgers, he started the full 17 game slate. Not sure if every Jets fan wanted him to start the full 17 game slate, but he did. And between that, Bob, has been a lot of second, third, fourth, and fifth string quarterbacks we've seen. So I'd prefer not, if we have the option, I prefer not to see any of these other names. But, as Jet fans, we're sort of accustomed to a polygamous relationship at the quarterback position. Yeah.
Look, reality is, and I honestly believe that Tyrod Taylor is the best backup in the NFL.
There you go.
But obviously, he also has an injury history that distinguishes him in the wrong way.
Right.
But, what are you going to do? You just have to play the best players you've got, and the next man up is the next man up. Hopefully, if they have to go beyond a Tyrod Taylor, that it would just be for a game or so, and then you find a way to make it work from there. Hey, maybe one of the running backs can start to play, quarterback too, and just hand off to the other 2, since we've got 3 really good running backs.
There you go. I don't mind the Wildcat. That worked. What was that, 2008, I believe, when we had that Dolphins-Patriots season opener, and then the Dolphins ran Wildcat like on every play with Ronnie Brown, and Bill Belichick was so confused and then they got blown out of the building. That was hilarious. So I would love to see that again. That'd be great. And I saw it in the comment section earlier. People said, well, who the hell else is out there? The only other notable name that I see in free agency, if you care to swim in these waters, is Carson Wentz, who had that near MVP season for the Eagles back in 2017. Then his leg exploded in the Rams game, and he really hasn't been the same since. He's been a journeyman bouncing around, most recently being the backup quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs before they went in a different direction this offseason. So I guess he's still out there.
Well, Carson Wentz really is a better choice than anybody you've named so far, but clearly there's something in the way of the word going across the league about Carson Wentz and why you don't want him, in your camp, because he's got the most experience, he has the best resume, certainly way better than the guys we're talking about today, but. I saw him play again for Indianapolis against the Jets the last year. He was in Indianapolis. I went to the game with my sons.
Okay.
And he was okay that day. I mean, he helped build up a lead against us. And then when we started to come back, he really couldn't do anything. I mean, if I had my druthers, Carson Wentz, but Carson Wentz might not be willing to come in for a day or two,
right,
a week
That's
or two.
True.
He probably would want a guaranteed contract of some sort for the year, and I can see why a lot of teams wouldn't want to do that. But anyway, I don't know what the word on the street is about him inside the locker room, but clearly it's probably not very good.
Yeah, that's those are the rumors I've heard. So take them for what they will from NFL people around the league. But that
Paul? What have you heard anything? I mean,
some locker room issues.
You can disguise this in some.
Oh, sure, way. Right, yeah. I had a friend who told a friend who told another friend, and then he told
another friend told you. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You see, Carson Wentz apparently having some locker room issues and rubbing players the wrong way. And that caused some of the rifting in a couple of his different locales, allegedly. Whispers.
Yes, allegedly. Yes.
So that could explain his current free agent status, because obviously the talent is obviously there, but all the other stuff. And I also agree. I think you give a fair point of things we don't think about when you're just playing the Madden video game. we sign anybody, and we don't talk about the A to the B. And the A to the B here is, does Carson Wentz want to come in here for a very brief period of time? Because the Jets love Tyrod Taylor. Supposedly, they think he's the greatest thing since sliced bread as a backup quarterback. And as long as this knee surgery, which again, I've had knee surgery before, but not a minor scope. So people keep telling me it's not a big deal at all. I don't know that. I've never had that surgery, but they say it's not that big of a deal and that he should be fine. And if that's true, then we are really, to your point, Bob, just talking about a very short window of time to ensure. Like if Taylor's not ready for week 1, are the Jets going to line up Adrian Martinez or Brady Cook as his backup? And neither of those two guys, Brady Cook or Martinez, have ever played a regular season snap in the NFL. That's a little tight roping your risky business there at quarterback for Justin, who runs around, and that you'd be willing to potentially go into one of those waters.
Well, and there's another angle here as far as bringing in another quarterback, and that is I think they'd rather go with Adrian Martinez right now since Cook looks like he's not going to be available. But the thing with Tyrod Taylor is, and we've talked about this before, and everybody knows this, is every year on the clock that passes, for you, whether you are just a man on the street or an NFL quarterback, it makes it that much tougher to recover from either minor surgery. It's just not an easy thing to do. If this was Brady Cook, it probably would be a week or so. But this is a quarterback who's got some wear on his tires, and so I don't think you can really depend on him to be there big time. When the season starts, hopefully he will, but I wouldn't be surprised come week 1 if he's on. Well, he won't be on IR because I would shelve him for several weeks. But basically not active. Maybe I don't know. What does it take, Paul, to put someone on the PUP list? Can you go on and off really easily?
You can during the off season, but once you go into the season on the PUP list, you're forced to miss the first month of the season. It used to be 6 weeks, so they've changed the rules, and now it's the first 4 weeks of the season. But again, we just don't know, obviously, the medical stuff with Tyrod. It sounds like he's like 50-50 to be ready for week 1. And if that's true, then maybe it's not long after that if he even misses week 1. But if the Jets are being a little cagey about what the real thing is here, which could be indicative of that based on working out a couple of quarterbacks yesterday, do they think there's a chance Tyrod's out for a longer period of time, so they want another guy in the room? Maybe, or maybe not. Like I said, we're all sort of speculating on that. But yes, if he's on the PUP list to start the season, he missed the first 4 weeks.
Paul, is there any other particular option that they might be looking at just to bring in to see what would happen?
Well, the thing that people keep saying here is that they don't want. I'm seeing a lot of Adrian Martinez fans here now. Like J-Boy says, Adrian Martinez played in a season. I have Adrian Martinez's Pro Football Reference stats, and it is zeros across the board here for him appearing in any football game. So, J-Boy, unless you have the data, let me know. I know he's played in the preseason, but he doesn't have any data here for the regular season.
USFL MVP, Paul. USFL
MVP. 100%, and that's cool. He's a young man. I can't believe he's accomplished, quote unquote, so much with the UFL MVP and all this other stuff. He's like 24 years of age. So a lot of people are high on him, but again, we just never seen him in an NFL game. Certainly he's never started a game, even if he's briefly appeared in a game. We just haven't seen him. So I think you are where you are. It's August 15th. There's not a lot of great quarterback options out there, and it is what it is, and you have no other choice but to sort of trudge along with what you have. Again, if Tyrod's out for a serious period of time, then I guess Nathan Peterman or C.J. Beathard is going to be some temporary option while you figure it all out, because I doubt, as much as AG claims he loves young players, that would be a very dangerous game to play, to have your top option, Adrian Martinez, unless they know something we don't, and they see him and they're like, we love Adrian. Maybe they do. I don't know.
Yeah, but Adrian Martinez, because he's never played an NFL down, he might surprise you for a quarter or a half.
Sure.
Before they figure him out. How many times have we seen the Jets have trouble where they're preparing for one quarterback, he gets hurt in the first half, and they bring in a completely different style quarterback, and the Jets defense goes to pieces. And so that's not going to necessarily happen only to the Jets. That can happen to the other team as well until they figure out what's going on. Plus, they are clearly, and this is to the Jets' real credit, they are running kind of slightly different offenses with each of the quarterbacks, as we saw last week, because it wasn't the same offense with Brady Cook as it had been with Fields, and it wasn't the same with Martinez as it had been with Cook and with Fields. In
Well,
fact,
I'll
I
tell
thought
you.
that the speed with which Martinez was running the offense in the fourth quarter was really quite telling compared to everybody else.
Very much so. And I would say this, of course, the options that are available right now may not be the options available in 2 weeks. The good news is NFL teams are going to have to make roster cuts, and you're going to have to go from 90 players to 53, and players are going to shake available. And there's one player I know for sure is going to shake available. And if Tyrod's out for a serious period of time, then I'm exploring these waters. It's my guy Tommy DeVito, baby, who is the 4th-string quarterback for the Giants, and they're not keeping him on the 53. And I have his autographed Syracuse football sitting right here in front of me from covering back him at his time at Syracuse. Give me Tommy DeVito, who's played some NFL games before, and I'd love him as a QB too. And he wants to stay in the area, I heard from his family. So Tommy DeVito time, baby. TD. What do you think, Bob?
Let's hope not.
Old Tommy.
Love his family.
Yeah.
Love his wonderful story for the Giants, but hard pass.
Yeah.
Although you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
He's probably better than the guys we brought in yesterday.
Yeah, for sure. And but yeah, a lot of people in the chat immediately are angry at that choice. Absolutely do not want Tommy DeVito. Is that Danny DeVito? No, it's not. I don't believe there's any relation.
Though, if the Jets cut Adrian Martinez, you watch, somebody's going to pick him up. I think he's shown enough that another team is going to be interested.
I mean, he was available all last year. His other team's practice squad. No one touched him. So,
yeah,
you know.
but it's exposure. It's
sure.
It's what you get to show, which you don't get in all situations. And I read yesterday that the great catch that Smith made against the Giants, that Martinez kind of threw up a wobbly, long pass that shouldn't have been caught. But he got the pass off against the Giants rush, even their backups. And again, I was look, they're going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball. And until the other team just loads up the box and stops the running game, if they can, the Jets are going to keep doing it. So the quarterback's greatest skill has to be in being very adept at handing the ball off in different ways to different running backs.
Yeah, that's going to be the identity of this team. There's no question. We have 300 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe, baby, if you're watching. Again, the free way to contribute is by liking the video. I see we have 100 people on YouTube, so thank you so much. Make sure you guys are liking the video. That's free to do right in front of you. Make sure you take full advantage of that. You guys can also enter a raffle, as you can see on the scrolling ticker down below, for a variety of prizes we're giving away this month. So if you want a chance to win any of those, all you have to do is spend $3 on the channel before the end of the month, and you will have a chance at all our wonderful prizes, and it's going to be terrific. Bob, let me ask you this real quick as we're operating here. Neither Brian Dable nor Aaron Glenn have revealed whether or not they're going to play their starters tomorrow night in the preseason game. Would you like to see the starters in the preseason game? What's your stance on starters playing in the preseason?
There's no doubt in my mind that Fields is going to start tomorrow night.
Okay.
It's a matter of how long. I mean, because he's not going to play next week.
I would assume not.
We know he's not, because like I've told people before, in the old days in the 60s, if you didn't play the last game, you were going to get cut. And now it's, if you do play in the last game, you're going to get cut. So no, he's going to get in some time. It's a matter of how much of the offense they're really willing to reveal, which I'm going to say is not very much.
Correct.
The first week of the season has got to be, hey, Pittsburgh, guess what we're doing next? The other thing, nobody even mentioned this, I think. Now, you could tell me I'm wrong, but against Green Bay last week, let's look at the defense just for a second, and we'll come back to the offense. Did the Jets blitz much, if at all, against Green Bay? I don't think they did.
I only remember one or two plays where maybe we had a corner or safety or something, but it's very vanilla in preseason. They normally don't reveal those.
So we want Mr. Rogers to have to really, use all his guts and all his savvy, and then his very limited athleticism to try to stay away from a blitz.
Yeah.
So we're not going to see much on defense, I don't think, especially after practicing against the Giants this
That
week.
too, right?
And the offense, same thing with the offense. I think it's going to be run left, run right, run up the middle. My hope tomorrow night, I want to see more of Jonathan Edwards. I want to see what he can do.
Oh my God,
For a
Donovan
second game
Edwards, yes.
and I think they want to see it too because they have a tough decision to make.
They
Yeah,
do.
Edwards will play certainly next week, but
Oh yes,
that
yes.
decision to make about Edwards, and you were talking the other day about they'll probably be able to get him through waivers, or several people have said that. But then I read a couple of the Jet writers
Yeah.
who said, you know what, if they try to get him through waivers, somebody's going to pick him up, and that's my fear because I just think he's got that extra and different dimension that the Jets need. I love their 3 running backs that they've got, but having this other guy there, hopefully he can play, really good special teams and earn his way on the club that way.
Yeah, I hope so because he seems like a really talented kid. I'd love to see him a part of it. We're all debating on how many of this or how many of this end up making the roster, but he seems really talented. I loved him when I saw him earlier this week at Jets Giants joint practice. He was making a lot of plays, so he is someone.
Who didn't love him? Last year at Michigan. I mean, everybody, loved the kid. And the hit on him going into the draft was he can't break tackles. Well, he was breaking tackles last week. He was hitting the hole quickly, which everybody said he could do, but then he was breaking some tackles and getting an extra yard or two.
And it was refreshing. Again, I wish that 70-yard touchdown would have counted for him because that was a wonderful play, and he showed some burst too and some separation, which was nice. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. There's going to be a lot of players that I sort of have circled for tomorrow night. But, yeah, seeing the starters out there would be wonderful because, again, they're not going to be playing in the preseason finale. So this is our last chance to see them before the regular season.
And you saw the practices, which, none of us really did. Or there might be a handful out here in Boy Green land this morning who went over there or got in there. But, the offensive line and a bunch of the Jets who did play, this was a really physical, aggressive couple of practices, even though there was no hitting the quarterback. And I'll bet you there's some of the guys have been, a little bit beaten and bruised. And you may not want to really subject that, to game situation. But then again, they have to have some practice time in a real game situation. So I would expect a quarter at a minimum, and maybe it goes beyond that.
Yeah, that would be great. Hey, I just want to clarify this. I was seeing people argue about it in the comment section. The Giants are absolutely not cutting Jameis Winston. They are keeping 3 quarterbacks. It will be Russell Wilson. It will be Jameis Winston. And it will be Jackson Dart. Like Scotty Mayhem, I see you in here say Giants can't keep 3. Jackson Dart is not going to be the first line of defense if Russell Wilson gets hurt. Absolutely not. That is not going to happen. So those 3 are staying. And again, my boy Tommy DeVito is going to shake free. And then Tommy's going to have a choice. The Giants want Tommy back on the practice squad. But with what Tommy's shown in a couple of regular season starts, another team may say, hey, we'll give you a chance to be QB2, but it might be in like Minnesota or some random place away from his family. If he's cool with that, there's going to be a chance. Arizona or some random place. Or he could stay on the practice squad and be with the Giants. The thing is, it's less money and less notoriety. So it's up to him to determine what's most important. But the Giants are absolutely keeping 3 quarterbacks. I just want to make sure that's out there in the universe. All right, let's do this. Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
I was just going to say, Paul, I hope that you're going to give us a little bit of time today to talk about what you saw, in practice. The really frustrating thing about practice that is obviously not televised,
right?
Is we're getting pieces here and there about what happened, who looked good, who didn't look good, and to an interested Jets fan to hear that so and so made one good play, which earns him his stripes for the week. That doesn't cut it with me because I want to see what the guy can do. On virtually every play. If he makes a mistake here or there, that's I'm interested in, as well as making 1 or 2 good plays. So, because we kept hearing so much about, well, the offensive line held up good, okay here, but Fashiono got beaten here, and Membo got beaten here, and Tipton got overwhelmed there.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to see the whole line and the whole defensive line and everybody else play to play, and just see who's really up to it or not.
Yeah, a couple of notes and quotes. Arian Smith was very impressive. He's the rookie wide receiver out of Georgia. He has not dropped anything that I've seen. When I was at that practice, he didn't drop a lick. From what other beat reporters said, that he hasn't dropped anything in training camp, and he was much maligned for his hands. And he continues to make splash plays. The one thing we haven't seen are the thing that we assumed would be a part of his profile, and that's the deep shots and big plays. And I will tell you, after the first Jets Giant joint practice, I was in a VIP area after practice, sort of away from a lot of the fans, and Arian Smith came over, and a few people were sort of talking around him. Hey, man, when are we going to see like an 80-yard bomb for a touchdown? And he looked at us, winked, and said, we don't do that in practice, and just suggesting that they're sort of hiding that for the regular season. I went, oh, okay, Arian Smith, I understand. So, Arian looked very good.
Pittsburgh already got one look at how he can create distance between himself and a cornerback.
Yeah.
Because he did that last week, and he was wide open by 5 yards, that he literally ran right past the cornerback.
Yeah.
And so, no, you're not going to see that till week one. But week one, yeah, he's going to get a shot. And if he does it once, they might do it again.
Yeah, and that's what. And the other thing is, as you're looking for some of these camp observations, the first string offensive line was sort of 50-50 with protecting Justin Fields against the defense line. But here's the thing we don't know, and we would only know in a preseason game tomorrow when the lights are on and tackling is encouraged. It's when the Giants pass rushers thought they were going to sack Justin Fields. They didn't actually sack him. They just threw their hand up and said, I would have got him. And then the play continues, and Justin Fields does his squirming around and jumping around the pocket and then trying to make a play, because the plays always continue even if you would have gotten a sack. In a preseason game, that's not how it happens. If they're going to sack you, they're going to sack you. So that's the test that I want to see, because what's really true? Would Justin Fields have really escaped that pressure for his real game scenario? Maybe. Would he have not? Would he have just been clubbed from behind? I don't know. So I really want to see how good this offensive line is, because we in Jets fan land are super optimistic about the line. I am too. I think it's going to be really good. This Giants defensive line, I don't think they're going to be very good. I know they're going to be very good. They're incredibly talented and deep all over the place. So that's the test for me of trench warfare, is that it was 50-50 during the joint practice I was at. But what is it like in a real game scenario? We're going to find that out tomorrow night.
You're going to get a better idea of it for sure. And the thing that you have to really look out for, since there were a couple of things that people raised about Justin Fields against the Giants in practice. And one is getting rid of the ball and then errantly, throwing the ball where his receivers couldn't catch it. So, I mean, that's, those are two things we got to look out for tomorrow, because, yeah, he's going to be subjected to the rush. But can he get away? And he's got that ability probably better than any other quarterback in the NFL. But you really don't want him running very much, especially against the line that's, had to try to really knock him on his rear end. And I'll bet you the Giants, after not being able to lay a hand on him this week, other than two-hand touch, okay, you're stopped, are really going to want to give him a shot or two.
And the Jets have a very uneven history with preseason quarterback injuries, so we don't want Justin Fields out there too long. Zach Wilson's, Mark Sanchez's, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, I want him to get his work, but I also don't want him getting clubbed like a baby seal. So, you sort of got to balance that out.
Yeah. It's preseason. Let's not forget that either. It's preseason, but they always play each other pretty well. When they play the MetLife Bowl every year.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
Anyway.
Here we go. A super chat.
Wow.
The only reason I was at this Jets-Giants practice, joint practice, was this guy. He invited me out. So Lou B, super Jets fan. He won the raffle, so he'll be at our Jets-Cowboys game on October 5th, which we appreciate. Lou B's the man. I got to meet him. He's a wonderful guy. Here is his super chat in. Quote, one thing at practice that I thought was very telling of a sign of respect was that Russell Wilson came all the way around after the game to see the general manager. And I would say yes, when we were in that VIP area, and that's what Lou B is referencing, Russell Wilson came over through the jet section and was showing all kinds of respect to players, coaches, everything else. I don't know. People could question whatever they want about Russell Wilson. And I would just say this. I think he's a class act. He did all the things in Seattle for the children at the, the surgery hospitals and going back to help them out. He spent every off day at those facilities trying to give back. And it didn't seem like he was doing it for the pub. It seemed like he was doing it to give his time, money, effort, and energies to the children. So Russell Wilson's been an A-plus guy all around for all that kind of stuff. People think he's corny with "Let's Ride" and this or that, like he's some sort of an action figure, not human. I don't know. He seemed pretty human in all those moments. So it's a great shout out here, Lou B. I think Russell Wilson's good people there, Bob.
You can't fake class, and so just what he, that one little thing that he did there, which is just one of the things that he displays in it from his personality, is very telling. So, he's got a history and he's won a Super Bowl. So
he sure has.
You got to give a tip of the hat to that as well.
Well, he should have won 2 Super Bowls if instead of throwing an interception to Malcolm Butler at the goal line, the Seattle Seahawks would have won back-to-back Super Bowls, and the Patriots and Tom Brady would have one less Super Bowl. So thanks for nothing, Russell.
And to be intercepted by the cornerback who Belichick didn't even like. Even worse.
God. Awful. Unbelievably awful. But, Luby, you have 4 raffle tickets for our contest now, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much for contributing. You guys can also send it in. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the little money sign. You have options to send in super chats or purchase memberships for your fellow Boy Green Coffee Club members. Feel free to do so. It's only $3 a pop. And every time you do so, you'll get a raffle ticket for our prize of giveaways here on the channel, which we really appreciate because we had a donation to this pile of gifts from Badge on our comment section, who has called in many times. So thank you very much. This image I'm about to throw up on the screen here, these are some of the prizes that are going to be available for the winner of our September 1st contest, including that beautiful Super Bowl III game NFL coin collection coin that is flashed in 24 karat gold, that logo Athletic Prime hoodie t-shirt, and a vintage Jets player t-shirt from the past. And as Badshaw donated a copy of Kickoff Kitchen, a Super Bowl cookbook that you guys will all be able to enjoy, that's got 2 recipes for every team in the NFL with appetizers and entrees galore. So thank you to Badshaw for donating that item to the raffle. So those 4 items will go to one lucky fan that will be donated on September, or will be given away, on September 1st. So good luck to all you guys out there. And again, if you spend $3 on the channel, you have a chance to win all of those prizes we just highlighted on the screen. All right, Bob, without further ado, let's go to these wild animals on the phone calls. We'll do that next here on Boy Green Daily.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. New York Jets Football Club. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, Jets. Let's go.
You heard Hep. The message is simple. Let's bleep and go, people. Let's go. Keep showing all your love in the comment section. We appreciate it. And I'm seeing a lot of super chats and memberships being gifted. That's what we're talking about. J-Boy gifting a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. Thank you very much, sir. And that went to one of Bob's favorite callers on the show. Indy Jets just got gifted that membership. So there you go. Beautiful. And J-Boy, you now have 25 memberships gifted so far this month. By the way, that was my jersey number in high school. That's why I'm Boy Green 25. I picked that number after Reggie Bush. That was he was very inspirational when I was a young buck coming out of high school, of picking that jersey number. So thank you, J-Boy, for that. That's lovely. And look at this, a massive super chat coming in from our guy, Chef Kevin Gilbert, a.k.a. Fastest Food Reviews.
Wow.
All right, Chef Kevin Gilbert, thank you so much for the super chat. He said, yesterday, Devin Singletary, he's a Giants running back, for those who don't know, came to our youth football practice. I told him my son and I are going to the game on Saturday, and our defense is going to make him look silly. Hope I'm right. Go Jets. That's beautiful.
Don't wave the red cape in front of
I will be
the other team.
Yeah,
By the way,
Yeah,
since
go
we
ahead.
mentioned Indy,
Yeah.
Indy, come
Yeah.
on, Indy, come on. Where are you this morning? Come on, I
Oh
want a
boy,
piece of you.
that's never good. That's never good to call him out like that. That's like, but he's coming. You say Beetlejuice enough times, I think you're going to be able to summon whatever demons from the world that you want. So I'm sure we will see him here shortly. Also, fastest food reviews, aka Chef Kevin Gilbert. You have 3 raffle tickets to our contest this month, and you are $1 away or $2 away, excuse me, from another raffle. So we appreciate that so much. And cool story. That's awesome. I've met Devin once or twice because I was at Bill's training camp a bunch of years ago. He's a really good guy. Nice. I was going to say young man, but I think he's getting older now. But he is a nice man, regardless of age. So that's cool that he came out to your guys' youth football practice. But I do the same thing. I try to talk as much trash as possible. And so way to put that out in the universe, Chef Kevin Gilbert. We appreciate you. Good work.
Paul, how far is the Buffalo preseason camp from Syracuse?
It's about an hour-ish, maybe hour 20 minutes from where they
it's that
practice
close.
at St.
Wow.
John Fisher. Yeah, that one's pretty close. Jets is further. Jets and Giants are about 5-ish hours, something like that. But the Bills one is very close. So, there's no excuse. I should do it more often, to be honest, the St. John Fisher, because the last one I went to was Josh Allen's rookie year. I don't know why I waited 7 or 8 years to go back again this offseason, because, again, it's a very easy trip, and they do this college thing, which is super cool. So I should definitely do it more often. There's no question about it. But it was a lot of fun. It was cool going undercover as a Jets guy there, and no one knew it at all. Look at this. We've got another new member to the Boy Green Coffee Club, baby. All right, Phil Armour, 9132, who I know is a Giants fan. So there you go. That's where you show dedication. A Giants fan becoming a Boy Green Coffee Club member.
That's because he's getting ready. He's getting ready to change his colors.
Oh, okay, great. That is riveting news. So, Phil, welcome to the Army. And you know what? We always have room for you, giant bastards. So you guys can feel free to come on over. We don't mind. You also have a raffle ticket for our contest, Phil. And I would just suggest that to everyone as I'm catching up on all these, and we're going to answer the phone calls here shortly as well, that the cool thing about everything that we do here on the channel is that, when you buy Boy Green Coffee Club membership, you get all the perks of being a Boy Green Coffee Club member and a raffle ticket to win free crap. So it's a pretty good deal, perhaps the best deal in all of YouTube land. So let's keep rolling here on these. We have another super chat coming in here, Bob. All right, another $9.99. I like the gold brick. Chink, chink. I think that might be flashed in 24 karat gold down there, just like that coin we're giving away. Very nice.
Wow.
All right, Bob, this one's for you. Book question for Bob. In one of the early chapters, you talk about Butkus and Sayers almost becoming Jets. How close was that to becoming real?
Butkus closer than Sayers. Butkus had a contract in front of him just to initial, and that's when the reality hit that he said he was a man of his word. He's also, a Chicagoan, from birth. And he said, hey, I gave my verbal okay to George Halas the week before, and I can't go back on my word. Sayers, it wasn't really close, although they made an attempt because they tried to make a deal with Kansas City. And the Chiefs didn't want Gale Sayers playing against them in the American Football League.
Which makes sense.
That didn't happen. And, we never mentioned a third one. I think this was the following year.
Oh, okay.
Bullet Bob Hayes.
Oh, my goodness. Wouldn't that have been?
They wanted him in the worst way, and that didn't work out either. I don't have as many details about that.
Ooh, okay. Bullet Bob Hayes. Wow. That's a great story. And I would just say a quick shout out to Gale Sayers.
The world's
fastest
fastest human.
Comet, baby. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's one we will definitely be. I'm getting better at technology. I want to cut up the short that Bob talked about with Dick Butkus many shows ago. It's one of the first shows that Bob was with us. So we'll put that up in our YouTube short section. If you guys missed that story, there was a great story on Dick Butkus and all the details. We'll definitely have that shared here.
Or you can read the book.
Or both. Why don't we do that, baby? Let's keep getting those book purchases up. And I'm sure when we get a couple of callers here on the show, we can ask them if they've bought the book. We will see if that stock continues to go up. So for Lily, thank you so much. You have 8 raffle tickets for a contest so far this month. Okay, we have one more set of memberships to get to here. It's from our number one Austrian Jet fan. Hey now.
like to meet him. I wish he would call in because my dad is from Vienna.
Oh, okay. Well, we got to get the Austrian flavors rolling. Austrian, unfortunately, could not attend our Jets Cowboys tailgate because if he could, he won it 5 times in a raffle earlier this month. But, what we will do is Austrian says he's going to try to come to one of our tailgates because we plan on doing this every year. He's hoping in a year or two he can come, and that would be wonderful. But also, yeah, call in. Sure. That would be wonderful if we can make that happen. And every time 5 memberships or more are gifted on the channel, I know what Austrian wants.
Kevin James.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
92 raffle tickets leads the pack so far this month. So thank you very much for our number one Austrian Jet fan, for sending those along. By the way, here are the 5 new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club from our number one Austrian Jet fan. We have Wild Wave in here, Johnny Cards, Eric Bianchi, Mac Q, and FP Troopsa. You guys are all now members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Thank you so much for sending those along. And our number one Austrian Jet fan continues to lead the pack. All right, we have one more super chat to get to, and then we're going to get to the phone lines here, Bob. It's Old Yank throwing in a super chat question. We love to see super chat, so thank you guys so much.
Wow.
All right, this was my player of the game last week, Bob, when we were watching Jets-Packers. Old Yank sends in a $5 super chat. Thank you. What kind of mayhem do you think Jay Tufele will cause tomorrow? He was dominating in the joint practice. We didn't get to talk a lot about that, but he dominated there. He dominated in the preseason game, and I'm like, who the hell is Jay Tufele? Like, this was a pleasant surprise over the last week and a half here. He's been crazy.
He's probably been the shocker in the Jets camp. Again, I don't think he's going to play much more than a quarter. I hope he doesn't play much at all tomorrow because I don't want to see the guy get hurt. And I'm just fearful whenever you've got that much things going on in the trenches that, that the guys can get hurt like that. But he created mayhem in practice. That was very clear from everything I read. So, they'll give him a taste tomorrow night, and hopefully they're going to pull him out.
Yeah, that's for sure. Old Gang, by the way, you've now retied with J-Boy with 25 raffle tickets so far this month, so we appreciate you. Thank you kindly for the super chat. All right, let's get to the phone lines, baby. We'll get back to your memberships and everything else later here on the program. We start off with Hep here. What's up, Hep?
Hey, Paul. Hey, Bob.
Yeah.
How you doing, fellas?
Good
Bob,
morning,
I've been thinking about the Matt Snell thing and how we can attack this. I think we have to attack it on a multi-prong level. One is we need some muscle. And the biggest muscle we got is Joe Namath. Now, I think Connie Carborg is sweet with Joe Namath. She's got his ear. If we could talk to Connie, tell her to lean into Joe, to lean into Woody, to say, let's clear this up. Let's do this right. The man's 80-something years old. Let's right this wrong before we don't have a chance to do it. The other thing is people. Maybe when we go to the Jets Dallas game, we take signatures. We do that kind of thing. I don't know if that would really matter, if Woody even cares about that stuff. The other thing is running backs. Let's just address the running back room. Current running backs, as well as maybe Curtis Martin, the old timers, get maybe Riggins, anybody who in there who can say, bolster it up. What do you think?
All right. Should we take that in order?
Sure.
Number one, interesting idea about trying to work something through Connie. I think she might be more influential than anybody in talking to Joe, so it's worth a shot. But there was antagonism between Joe and Matt, even though Joe realized that Matt was part of his meal ticket because of his ability to protect him against the rush. But, I think you want to throw everything against the wall and see what sticks if you really want to get serious about this. Right. Because I believe that Namath holds a great deal of sway with the Jets just because he's Joe Namath. I mean, I know he does with the league, so I'm got to believe it's just as strong with the Jets. Remind me your second point again.
Taking signatures at the Dallas Jets game.
Oh,
yeah.
Hey, it's worth a shot. I mean, every little bit helps.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I just as an example, I think all the different elements that went into getting Winston Hill voted into the Hall of Fame, because it wasn't just the writers, but it was a lot of the support that the writers heard from a lot of fans, about Winnie that got him in. And your third point?
The running backs.
Yeah.
Addressing the running back room.
Right, they're getting the legendary running backs of yesteryear, and he mentioned a bunch of them. Hep did, John Riggins, Curtis Martin, and others. Get them on our cause. Say, wait a second, there's a beef here that we can fix. What can we do? And getting those voices on our side, could that be influential? Hep is essentially saying to start pushing this story forward and everything else.
And the guys you're talking about, other than Riggins, may have never met Matt Snell. So I think that would be a stretch. Again, it can't hurt to try.
Right,
So,
yeah.
But, I mean, Riggins essentially replaced Matt. And Curtis Martin, the greatest running back in Jay's history. But I don't think he knows Matt at all.
Do you have to know Matt?
Yeah, it's the Jets brotherhood. It's the running back
right.
brotherhood.
It's they see a wrong and they want it righted, and they're influential people inside the organization that I would assume would have the ear of Woody and all these others. And if they don't, the collective would. Fans, Namath, running backs, petitions, these sign up things, all of these different things.
Hey, it's going to take a cumulative effort, I think, because you don't know which one or two things is going to be something that's going to tip, Woody over and say, okay, yeah, let's do this and get this done, because that's what it's going to take.
What do you think? What do you think it would take to fix it? What would be the ingredients?
Well, somebody said the other day, it's going to look. The Jets have to go to Matt. The problem when they tried to coax Matt into showing up for the 50th anniversary is that they wanted to reach out to Matt and have Matt come to them. They talked about Matt coming into the Jets Florham Park headquarters. And I looked at them and I said, he's not coming here. You've got to go to him.
Right.
He feels he was wronged, and he's not walking in through that front door. Unless, and the only way that would happen is if Woody went in his limousine and worked something out and have him drive back to Florham Park and then had a big celebration, with and for Matt. But Matt's not coming in on his own like that. It's just not going to happen. I mean, I don't even know. I haven't talked to him in several years. I don't know how seriously he would take this whole effort. And in fact, after we were done talking about this the other day, Paul, my wife said to me, you think Matt might not want to have this happen? He might just would have said, this has gone on too long and I'm not interested anymore. I mean, he clearly wasn't interested, in the 50th anniversary celebration. And that would have been the perfect situation, for bygones to be bygones. So
hey, wait a second. Isn't 60th coming up here, Bob?
Yeah, and I don't know.
That's a funny thing about anniversaries. They just keep coming back up in a higher number.
I've thought about it. I don't know how many of these guys are still going to be around. I'll tell you who will be. I'll tell you who still will be around.
Yeah,
number 12. He's in the best probable physical shape of anybody, from that club, which is ironic given what kind of condition his knees were in.
Yeah, and everything else with the drinking and everything else he was doing. So, both mind, body, and soul.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, of course. I don't want to. I just want to say, Hep, real quick before you go. I love this plan. It's well thought out. It's multi-layered. And for instance, right? So we do the show last week, and we put out the little tweet, and on YouTube and a couple of different places, and it picked up some steam. There were some people going, "Whoa, I hadn't heard about this." Hey, Jets, right the wrong. They're tagging Woody Johnson, tagging the Jets. I'm like, okay, that's a great first step. But it sort of had its life for 36 hours, and then it died. So it had some impact, but still, I think to your point, we just got to keep hit them high, hit them high, hit them high, hit them low.
You have to make it. You got to make it a mass media.
100%. I agree. A blitzkrieg. Yeah.
That's gotta be. By the way, Hep, I want to salute you for being a guy who cares about those guys and what happened back then, because I'm not taking a shot at Jet fans, but understandably, if you weren't around or weren't brought up during the maybe the time that just went after that. You may not really care. You might have said, well, it's yesterday's news. And as I explained when I first came on weeks ago, even in Green Bay, they don't care about Vince Lombardi. And I find that unbelievable. Yeah.
Well,
They
I'll tell
don't
you this,
care.
Bob, right? So I put out that tweet last week, right? And there was a lot of and I hate highlighting the minority, but I just want to be honest, right? So a lot of people were like, yeah, this is a wrong. Let's write it, baby. Woo, I'm for it. And a few people were like, why would I care? I don't care about that old man. And I'm like, hey, young buck, have a little respect, man. Like, he paved the way. Yeah, you want to know who scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl? Joe Namath. No, it wasn't Joe Namath. Oh, Matt Snell. Oh, he was the guy. So show some goddamn respect, some reverence for Matt Snell. So there's a few disrespectful young little whippersnappers out there, and I'm like, what in the world? So I wasn't appreciative of some of that commentary last week.
And the whole idea of my book really was to take these guys who've become dustbins, as I say, in the history of the NFL and bring them back to people's attention.
Yeah.
Philbin got a little attention because he died, which is unfortunate.
We need to give them the love when they're alive. And again, let me double check, because I believe Matt Snell's birthday is this week. I do believe so. It's the 18th. We are 3 days away from Matt Snell's birthday. He is 83 years old. He turns 84. I'm not trying to write epitaphs and start creating gravestones. I don't want anyone to die, but he is closer to the end than the beginning. We are running out of time. It would infuriate me if 10 years from now, Woody's like, you know what, Matt Snell, baby, let's do, and I'd be like, what? What about right now? What are we doing? So,
hey, Paul, might you possibly have, the email for one Woody Johnson?
I do not, but okay. I know people that have it, so I could get it in that way.
So because I think if there was a concerted effort and he got 50 or 100 emails with basically all the same message about, everybody can write it the way they want, or you can have a form email, short and sweet, and bring it to his attention, and see if he does anything about it.
Okay.
And if we did that and nothing came of it, then I think you would have a really good idea of what the problem really is.
That's very fair. So let's do it. We will do that. Hep, thank you so much. Appreciate it. And great idea.
One more thing, Hep.
He's back. He's back.
We'll get him next time.
No, he's right here. Go ahead.
Oh, Hep.
Yeah.
I'm already starting a countdown. Okay. When I do my 100th show, I want to see a video with you with the guitar.
You got it, Bob. No problem.
Okay.
So
that gives you a couple of years. That gives you a couple of years to get ready.
So, I was just about to say, Bob, what's the math on that? How many shows are we in on this?
Well, how many have we done now? Is this 6 or 7?
I don't know. So we started. So I think our first one was at the end of June, and then we said, do you want to do it as a regular bit? And then the first part of the regular bit was July 4th, and then that's where it went off. So I believe we started at the end of June, if I remember correctly.
I'll tell you what, I'll play the guitar when we clinch a playoff spot this year.
There you go. So you might as well play it now. We've clinched. We're going back to the playoffs.
When we officially clinch it, this playoff spot, I'm playing the guitar.
Okay, beautiful. Can't wait. And for those who are curious, Hep will be bringing the guitar to our Sunday, October 5th Cowboys-Jets tailgate, which should be spectacular. So I'm very much looking forward to that. All right, we have a bunch of callers waiting. We'll get to all of those. And I see we have a battle going on in the comment section of Super Chats being gifted left and right, back and forth. So let me catch up on those here. I see J-Boy just gifted a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. Thank you very much. Quickly went over to Old Yank, who gifted a 5-pack of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. And every time we get 5 memberships or more, we play a special video package, and there's this.
It's Jets, Jets. I love Fireman Ed, too.
All right, here are all the new members to Boy Green Coffee Club. James Fowles got it from J-Boy. Appreciate it. Old Yank sent out 5. Dominic Calujo. Earl Bedford, Galatron 76 is back. Let's see, Gary Cantor and Hulk Smash My Mom. Very nice. I hope your mother's proud of that one. And you just got that membership as well here on the channel. So appreciate that. And that is all updated in the scrolling ticker. Oh, Yank, you're back in second place, sole possession, with 30 raffle tickets so far this month. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. A lot going on here. Wait a second. Hop on Pop.
Hey now.
Here you go. My father, Bob, father. I know you guys have been on once or twice together, and now we're all reunited again.
Hello, Big D.
How's it going? It's good to be here.
Good. How are you?
Excellent. I don't want to take up too much time. I wanted to put a shout out for tomorrow's pregame show.
Yes.
Which I will be on with Boy Green.
Yeah.
And you'll get nuggets like this from last year when I gave the player to watch. Jamie Sherwood was my player to watch in the preseason last year. Seemed pretty accurate. So I have a few more like that coming up for tomorrow, as well as who the Jets should sign as quarterback who will be available on the waiver wire. A very exciting, promising young QB that could be spell the future after Justin Fields is in Walker. So that's coming up.
What a tease. Wow. I would just say.
I wish I could be tuning in. I'll have to watch it, afterwards. But boy, you're spot on about Jamie and Sherwood. That's for sure.
Man, and if he's predicting more Jamie and Sherwood, so he's going to predict a guy having a career year and then getting a $45 million deal that goes in the top 5 at his position. Okay, I'm ready to find out who the hell that's going to be. And I'm sure that person is too, because that will be like a lottery ticket, right? Jamie and Sherwood should have been notified. Sir, you have Hop on Pop now on your side. Oh, excellent. And that's going to lead to this.
Not trying to guess who you're going to name, but what do you think? What do you think of the linebacker who was Detroit's number 1 pick several years ago?
Oh, Washington's number 1 pick. That's Jamin Davis. Yeah,
because he's getting a lot of publicity.
Yeah, I think I think the Jets, I had some concerns at linebacker when CJ left, but I think they're in a pretty good role across the board. My biggest concern on the defense is the fatties up front. But the cornerback, solid linebackers, right? Some of the best groups in the NFL. So there's a lot of excitement there.
Yes.
But anyways, I want to give one last thing and I'll drop off. So we've been talking about it for a while. It's going to be coming out tomorrow, officially the start of the Wounded Warrior 50-50 raffle information tomorrow. So we'll be taking that as separate from Boy Green so it doesn't cloud the stream. We'll have separate Venmo and PayPal for people to donate. Essentially, we'll have a raffle collected starting tomorrow through October 4th. The money collected, 50% will go to the winner in the raffle, which will be named at the tailgate. The other 100% of the other 50% will be donated directly to the Wounded Warriors Fund, as well as, and Boy Green didn't know about this, I'm going to put together a prize pack for the highest contributor. That's going to have some NFL autographed items, some personal Hop on Pop merch. So that'll go to the highest, and then the winner of the raffle will get 50% of the proceeds for you couldn't call it a better charity.
Wow, that's really cool, Pop. Thank you for doing that. I'm going to have to trust your math on that math. I'm not sure the calculator, the beep, but the boop, but the bop, but I will trust that nonetheless, Pop. So appreciate you stopping by, and looking forward to all that being unveiled on tomorrow's show. Thanks for the tease.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad you did what I told you to do and put Bob's book in a more prominent position, as we discussed previously. And 50 days till the tailgate.
I thought that I was the one who had convinced you to do that.
I don't know. To be honest, it's a team effort. Everyone convinced me, and it was all good. It was good insight, good advice, good chatter from everyone there, and we will do it. So yeah, how far away is the tailgate? You said, Pop?
50 days from today. Mark it down.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Pop.
Okay, appreciate you. Thanks for joining us. Hop on Pop. Wow. 50 days from today. That's unbelievable. That is right around the corner. That's for sure. And by the way, speaking of like Hep has inspired a lot of people here. For Lily said, what we need to do is hundreds of emails, but make it consistent. The same subject tagline is "Bring back Matt Snell," and so we'll try to organize that, folks. I'll try to do what I can to set us up so you can do that if you guys have interest in pushing this story forward, which everyone should. It's a beautiful story, so hopefully we can. So for Lily and everybody, thank you guys so much for your interest, and it just feels right. All right, let's jump over back to the phone lines here. Man with the Jets tattoo is back once again.
Hey, boy Green. Hey, boy Bob. How you guys doing?
Good. Good
We're
morning.
doing
How are
excellent.
you?
Listen, I think Neil and I are the biggest supporters of Martinez. I just think that this kid's got something. I really do. I watched him I think it was the XFL land. I'm not sure. But this kid is good. He can run. He can throw the ball. I don't know why everybody's so down on this guy. I just don't get it. NFL experience. I mean, he's got experience playing the game against some pretty good competition. Maybe not all of them were NFL quality, but I would not be worried if Justin Fields went down and he had to play. I just wouldn't. That's just my opinion. Anyway, aside from that, they can't let Donovan Edwards go. This kid will be scooped up in 30 seconds. That's what I think. He is. I think the kid's unbelievable. I think he might eventually. I think this kid could be a replacement for Brees Hall.
Really?
I mean, I think this kid. Yeah, I think so. I think Brees Hall's going to be here this year, and then I think next year is going to be gone. But I wouldn't let Donovan Edwards go. I just wouldn't.
Okay.
And well, and then another thing too. I don't think the Jets. We're watching. I think we're making a little too much out of these practices, and I think we're making a little too much out of what Justin Fields did. He can't throw the ball downfield. Who missed this? Who missed that?
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Glenn's a smart guy. He's not going to show a lot in preseason. I think we're going to see a completely different offense when we take the field against the Steelers. I just think Aaron Glenn is just too smart for this. You know what I mean? I just don't think he's going to be showing everything. And I'm trying not to pay too much attention. I mean, we have watch parties and we have, preseason used to be preseason. Nobody paid attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, preseason's like its own season now. We have podcasts about it. We have how many different Jet content guys talking about it, and I get that. That's your job. But man, we're eating up this information like the first game of the season might be anticlimactic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just waiting. I'm just kind of ignoring the outside noise right now, and game one's going to tell it all. What they do in game one, that's going to tell it all, and I think it's going to be things that we haven't seen in preseason. So anyway, that's all I got.
Well, I appreciate it, and thank you for the beautiful backdrop as well. Go ahead, Bob.
My only comment about Edwards, and this is my only concern about him, is he's a little he's a smaller guy, and his ability to block is going to be somewhat limited. It doesn't mean he can't put his helmet in there and do the best he can, but he's not the size of a Brees Hall or an Allen, and again, I think I see him as a change of pace, maybe a third down back. But he's got so much ability. And, for a guy who supposedly didn't have really breakaway speed, the way he broke away from Green Bay secondary once he got open.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah, that was really very telling.
Yeah, just on that alone. I mean, I don't think that was just a one-time thing with him. I think this kid's got some motivation. And, okay, maybe he's not going to replace Brees Hall, but I don't think he'd be a bad if we had, Braylon Allen and Zay Davis. And if Brees Hall left next year and we had him as a third down back or a third running back anyway in the room, I think that we'd still be in good shape.
We're going to get
I don't know how
we're going to get the best possible idea about Edwards this week and
Right.
next week, because he's going to get a lot of opportunity.
I agree. Well, anyway, guys, listen, you have a good weekend. Enjoy the game. Don't make too much out of it.
That's impossible, but I appreciate the thought anyway. I am going to make absolutely long-ranging outcomes based on this second Jets-Giants preseason game, and either the Jets are going to win the Super Bowl or have the number 1 pick in the draft.
And if nothing else, we have to beat the Giants.
Oh, come on. The
have to beat the Giants.
The freaking Giants. Especially Kayvon Thibodeau trying to take some shots at Justin Fields and the offensive line. I saw you, Kayvon Thibodeau. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Bob, it is a Grubhub order you place on a weekly basis. Philly Noodles has arrived. What's up, Philly?
What's going on, gentlemen? How you doing, Bob?
Best to you this morning. How are you?
Yes, sir. Good morning, gentlemen. Without attacking fellow Jets fans, man with the Jet tattoo, please stop. You can't do that. You can't come on here and say
which one specifically did you have issues with?
all of it.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I guess so.
All of it. You can't tell me Donovan Edwards has an opportunity to Brees Hall. He barely made it through college. The injuries alone would have him make the practice team. Just the injuries alone could do that to him. Yeah. He's not built for a long season. That's one thing. It's fact. College tape will prove that. Other than that, he's a good talent. Like, who isn't a good talent? You know how many running backs we say this about every year? Everybody says that every year about some running back. Oh man, this guy is explosive. Okay, and then he plays like 8 downs in a series in week 4. And he can't get out of the backfield. It happens, It's different when, especially you're playing second and third string. If let's say he faces up against a halfway decent defensive line, safety's coming in, tackling. Like, it's not everyone. You see a flash and you're like, this is it. No, let's just calm down. Brees Hall comment, that's crazy. Let's just really stop, please. You know what I mean? But anyway,
but you're only as good as the holes that your offensive line creates for you, and then how quickly you can see what's going on to quickly change direction when you're supposed to be hitting a hole between the center and the left guard, and all of a sudden it's on the opposite side. And that's the one thing that I watched again as I saw just a couple of highlights from Edwards, is that he did show an ability to change direction very quickly. And that's I think what separates a lot of running backs, because anybody can take the handoff and say, okay, I'm supposed to go off the left tackle. Well, okay, but what do you do if there's nothing there? And do you have the speed, the quickness, the change of direction capability to do something quickly? Because, that's what it comes down to.
That's true. Oh, real quick, let me get
and
this.
Look at this real quick, actually. Chef Kevin Gilbert just said, finally something I agree with Noodles. LOL, let's go Jets. There you go. Hey, baby.
Wow.
Real quick, let me say in there, Wounded Warriors, I already support. So, hell yeah. We got to get our veterans.
Yeah, show that up one more time there, Philly. Yeah, please.
This is my postage stuff they send me. I get the blankets in the mail, all that good stuff.
Thank you for your support.
It's important because it's one of the biggest fallacies we have as American society. These guys come out, they don't know what to do with themselves if they have mental issues and whatnot, and they turn to substance abuse and all this nonsense. My father's a veteran. He didn't see any wartime, thank God. But you know what I mean? Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, my dad was, and my father-in-law was as well. So whatever role they play is to their credit.
For sure. So I appreciate that for sure. Gilbert, that's Chef Gilbert, my man. That's hilarious. I was gonna come on here, so I gotta do it. Yeah. Why didn't we pick up Daniel Jones? You could have had him actually as a competitor against Justin Fields. Look at what he's doing over there in Indianapolis. I'd like him as a backup before C.J. Beathard and Nathaniel Peterman. I'm sorry. I'd rather take Daniel Jones. I don't care what anybody says over them two.
Yeah,
So,
but
okay.
again, he's the kind of guy that would want to look to go someplace where he'd have an opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
He could have stayed in Minnesota. He doesn't want to be the backup. He
Well,
wants.
let me
to
ask
take a
you.
shot.
Let me ask you this here, Noodles. So you obviously are higher on Daniel Jones than some others in our audience, and there's a lot of people that believe he's going to start the season. Then we'll see what happens. Do you have any Daniel Jones predictions to share here on the show? You think he's going to do this, that, or the other?
I think he's going to suffer a concussion at some point. That's
All right.
that's a fact.
Jesus.
I'm going to go with that. I'm
Okay.
going concussion call.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't know how they feel. Like it feels like what's his name? His job could be on the line. The head coach. What's his name?
Shane Steichen for sure, and
Steichen,
so for
yeah.
Chris Ballard, the general manager
Yeah.
as well. Both of them, yes.
So I mean, they lost I think a couple pieces off the offensive line, one or two guys. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think he's going to get a concussion. Will he start? Maybe just in case of them feeling about his finger. What's Anthony Richardson's finger? I mean, I don't know. I just don't see it as I don't see it as like a glorious season. But I mean, if he puts together some highlights, he'll get picked up again next year. You know what I mean? I just really, again, like to Bob's credit right there, 100%. We weren't gonna be able to steal him, just sit him and put him on the shelf.
Hey, two
It
things
is
here
what it
real
is.
quick. So we have 400 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe, and what do we got? 130 of the 400 people are on YouTube, and we only have 58 likes. So come on, let's fix that ratio for God's sakes. Hit the gosh darn like button for
Yeah, we're
the
bringing
love
good
of
content
everything.
today. Yeah,
We are.
this is
Yeah,
awesome.
there's a lot cooking.
This
And by the way, Philly, you've
Let's get
returned.
going.
Man with the jet tattoo, he has
Yeah,
returned.
what's up, brother?
Hey, Philly, how you doing?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. Hey, listen, Philly, I just
Yeah.
don't agree with you
Oh man.
about. I think Adrian Martinez could be a great backup. That's I've been watching football a long time. I've seen Adrian Martinez play. I think he's got something. As far as Edwards, I didn't mean he can replace. I should have said he can replace Brees Hall, but he could be a viable third down back. I think that, like Bob said, that burst of speed he has and his change of direction. I just think the kid. I think the kid's good. I'll tell you, I don't think Brees Hall is going to be here after this year, and
Very possible.
I just don't understand. I just don't understand why everybody thinks Brees Hall is this superstar running back. He's got some talent. He's got some talent in the passing game. I mean, I think he's a better wide receiver than he is a running back. But I just don't see him. Even if he has a good year, I don't see him getting paid by the Jets.
Well, to you,
Anyway.
to what you said, 100%. Like my thing was, going forward with his contract, we saw what Kyron Williams just made as a Pro Bowler. He really can only be possibly looking at getting maybe 9-10 mil as a max from the Jets. The Jets, I don't even, 10 mil might be a stretch. It's probably going to be somewhere between like 7.5 to like 9.5, maybe like 9 mil a max, something like that. But I was looking at stats comparably. Year 3 with Christian McCaffrey versus year 3 with him. Christian got about almost 300 carries and opportunities. He's still below that number. So they're saying if they can get him Christian McCaffrey numbers, I think to me, to compare them to, Christian is still quicker and more shiftier versus Brees being a bigger guy. So you're never going to get like certain numbers like that to be exact or identical. But I still say Brees. No, Donovan Edwards as being a gadget back is something, but he would, to say if you have him on a third man role with Braylon Allen, who's a heavy hitter, then you're saying Isaiah Davis has to take over the role as Brees Hall in the future. That's where we would correlate that, I think, which I don't really believe in still. You know what I mean? Listen,
I haven't seen enough of Davis.
Yeah,
I haven't seen enough of Davis.
If Brees is there for $8 million, you kind of have to swing on that. That's not that bad if you think about it.
I just don't think Brees is going to get the touches this year. I think they love Braylon Allen. You know, I just don't think he's going to get those touches.
Where Brees has been faltering, if everyone's noticed this as Jets fans, I know Bob's about to jump in. He when he doesn't have an opening, he'll just stall and die out in the backfield, which has killed a lot of drives. So Braylon Allen will, as a bigger back, push forward. He will find a sliver of hole and just
Brees is
break it
going to
open.
get a chance. Brees is going to get a chance in the first couple of games
Oh, he will.
as the starting running back to show what he's got. And
Sure.
if he gets trapped in the backfield, as you just described, Philly, they're going to turn in another direction because he has to be the kind of guy also that hits the hole, and does it authoritatively. And I don't think they want to just use him as a receiving back. I think they want him to show that he was the guy that we saw his first year and the first couple of carries after he came back from his injury.
That's true.
So,
and look at this. We were able to bring you guys all back together, all back in sync. Look at this.
Hey, Paul, let me ask you a question that you might have picked up, and if not,
all right.
see what you can pick up. What's the Jets' attitude about Edwards on special teams? Do they think he has a role that he can play there?
From what I saw, that he was among the gunners that were going out there. So we'll see if that was just a spot thing on that random day, or is that something that they're consistently doing? So again, it's the same thing we sort of say about Allen Lazard, but in a much different way. If you're going to be wide receiver 3, 4, 5, 6, well, you gotta learn how to speak special teams, pal. And if you don't, then that's really an anchor on your roster. It's weighing everybody down. If he's refusing or doesn't do it, then someone else has to overcompensate for that. So that doesn't make sense. So again, Donovan Edwards, who would be RB4 or 5 with Kane Nguano if he ends up making it, like he has to be a special teamer, because if he's not, he's going to be on the practice squad or somebody else, or somewhere else. So that's just the harsh truth about it. But I did see him participating in the special teams unit when I was there as well. I want to give a quick shout out, Philly Noodles, man with a jet tattoo. Yes.
Real
Good to
quick,
meet
I'll
you,
let
Philly.
guys go. You know how we'll really know if Donovan Edwards is any bit good? If he gets picked up by the 49ers and it replaces McCaffrey for a week. That's it. I'm done.
That's how we'll know. Thank you, Philly. Great stuff there as well as they continue to come in. All right, up next, look who's returned. It's EZ, baby. What's up, EZ?
Hey, how you doing, Paulie?
Hey, it's great to see you, pal. Welcome back.
Hey, Bob, I love your history lessons on the Jets. It's like so awesome because I'm 64 and I can remember. I mean, I don't really remember the Super Bowl. I watched it with my dad, but I was only 8 years old at the time. But I do remember those players, Sauer and Snell and all those guys. That was a great team. And that really was a great team back then because they were the only AFC team that really could knock dicks with the NFL teams.
Well, Kansas City probably had the best talent in all of pro football, and Oakland was pretty damn good too. But hey, there was only one team that that broke the NFL's back in the Super Bowl the first time, and that was the Jets.
Yep.
And again, that's also one of the reasons why I just don't understand. Well, I do understand why so many Jet fans don't really pay a lot of attention to the team back there or don't care about the team back there. Is that they just made such a momentous impact on the history of the whole league. And again, I've said this before too many times, but if you ask the average fan today, in fact, Paul, do this, when you go to the Dallas game.
Sure.
Ask how many of the guys know why there's an American Football Conference.
Okay, will do.
Yeah, AFL turned into the AFC, and then Pittsburgh and Cleveland jumped over to Indianapolis. Those three teams jumped to even out the amount of teams on each league, and that's why Pittsburgh and Cleveland, which was in the All American Football Conference or something like that. And they were like a juggernaut. Nobody could beat them. They were that was when Jim Brown was in his heyday and all that. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about was the running backs, because everybody's talking about the running backs.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem I've had with Breece Hall is what I've noticed is if he hits the hole, if there's a hole there and he hits the hole, he can be gone. So he has that home run speed and that breakaway speed to be gone. But if that hole's not there, like the other guy was saying, he sometimes gets muddied in the backfield and will only get a 1 or 2 yard gain. I don't think his vision to spot the hole on the other side of the line if his side is stuffed, I don't think he's quit. He reacts quick enough to it. I think that is his Achilles. He's slow in reacting to where he's supposed to go to where he can go. And that is his biggest problem. It's just his reaction time. Because if he hits the hole, he's a nightmare for the defense. I mean, he really is. So I don't know. They've got to figure out a way to get him to react. Maybe he should put that freaking camera on his head to so that he could he's not seeing the things fast enough for what he needs to do. And the other thing is with running backs, I think there is this very fine line to being quote unquote a big bruising back and being a finesse speed back. And I think that Brees is kind of caught in the middle of that. He's not this big bruising back, although he is a bigger back, but he also doesn't have the speed, say remember when the Giants had Dave Meggett?
Yep.
Do you remember Dave Meggett on the Giants?
Sure.
I mean, he was small and he was speedy as all hell, and he could cut and zig and zag. But you needed that. Well, the Giants had that other big back. What was it? Anderson?
Yeah.
Was it Anderson?
Otis Anderson.
Otis Anderson. Yeah. So they had the Giants back in that time period had that great 1-2 punch. I do believe that Braylon Allen is the punch. He's the thunder. But I don't know if Brees is the lightning. That's the thing. I'm just not sure. Brees is a good back. Don't get me wrong. Any NFL team would be happy to have him. But I think
Well, we lost DZ there. I think he's going through a tunnel. Yeah.
I'm not an X's and O's guy. I would
Yeah.
never make any claim to be that way. But when the opposition loads the box, as they will inevitably do, as the Jets, try to just control the game through their running backs.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things that play in here. They're going to either play 2, maybe even 3 tight ends, or as in the old days, and I'd really love to see this, 2 backs. And I'd love to see Allen blocking, for Brees Hall and creating that hole, because the reality is, whether it's Allen or Hall or anybody else, when they're loading the box, if you get past that first line, you got almost a straightaway chance, to take it 50, 60, 70 yards downfield.
There's no question about it.
Yeah. And that's why it's going to be so important to be able to read, the blocks and to react quickly. And, he could be right. And several others could be as well, because so far we really haven't seen Brees Hall having the ability to spot what he needs to do to make a quick change of direction. And maybe he can't do that. Maybe that's not the strength of his game. But if he gets through the hole and he gets out in the open, we saw that against Buffalo, 3 years ago in the first.
That was 100%. We definitely did see that. Thank you for the call, EZ. Again, you were going through a tunnel or something. We lost you there, but we got the majority of what you were saying. DNY for Life sends in this super chat, Bob.
Wow.
But 12-5 floors incoming for the New York Jets. Have you seen it yet based on the first preseason game, huh?
No.
Well, there we go. DNY for Life, you now have 25 raffle tickets.
Was that a definitive enough answer?
That felt very direct. Very direct. So DIY for Life, we're going to have to continue to work on that one, and we'll get back to you. To see if
I will say that, I've got on record already as saying 6 wins. Okay. Yeah. I'm making an adjustment.
Ooh.
Maybe it's 7.
All righty. We're moving in the right direction. There you go.
Yes.
Beautiful, DNY for Life. So not quite at 12 yet, but hey, we still got 3 weeks before the season. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. You called for him at the beginning of the show. You said, "Hey, Indy, where are you at? Where you be?" And here he is. He has arrived.
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning.
Good morning, Indy.
Quick thing. Donovan Edwards is not making the 53-man roster. He's just not. He's a practice squad guy. And that's just the end of it. And I won't even need to. Philly said it perfect, so I'll just let that go. BG, if you would, could you go on Discord real quick and pull that picture up? I sent you a picture. I'm also pretty involved in the Wounded Warriors program, and what I sent BG is a set of cornhole boards that I had special made. Okay.
Oh my goodness, these are amazing. All right, 1 second. I will quickly work.
And at our American Legion, we also had two Iwo guys, two guys that served on that were on Iwo Jima. And the first time that those boards were ever used, we let these two older gentlemen play on this. Okay, and then they signed the back. And then we clear coated it, and then we auctioned those off for another Wounded Warrior project. So BG, I don't know if Pops is still still in there, or I'm sure you can get.
He's in the comment section right now. Yes, we do. Yes.
Okay. I'm thinking I may just have another set of boards made.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
And bring them to. If I had sent a message out this morning about getting this next set of boards made just like this. If I can get those made, I'll donate these to Pop's program, and if he wants to auction those off, now they won't be signed by two Iwo guys because I don't know any down here in the Carolinas. But I'll get another set of these made. And then we can auction them off when I know, and I'll get them before week 5, and bring them up to week 5, and we can auction them off then, or however Pop wants to do it. Either way, it doesn't matter to me. But I'd like to donate, get these made and add those to Pop's. We're doing a 50-50 if we want to throw that in his auction or
how he wants to do it.
How about this? Whatever he wants to do with them.
I love that. Yeah. So first off, right off the top, Philly Indy, excuse me. I'm seeing Philly. He's sending us stuff now. Yeah, I'm sorry for that. Philly is telling you and several others that those are so dope. So that's over your face right now. But no, I was reading all these comments. That's very nice. Everyone's saying wonderful words about your gesture and also making these. I think that's going to be absolutely amazing. We actually were going to have cornhole at the thing anyway, so maybe we'll get these to use and then gently used immediately to whoever's going to win this, apparently. But awesome gesture. These are amazing. I've never seen cornhole boards like this before. That's
very
beautiful.
very impressive, Indy. Very impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think we got. It was funny because a couple of older jarheads wanted those, and they got to bidding on them, and they gave $1,500 each, and they each got one board, and they've got them hanging up in their garage. And it was wonderful, and we did some good things with that money and so forth. So again, I'm reaching out to the guy that made those for me, and we're gonna try to get another set. As soon as I get those, BG, I'll let you know. But yeah, I'd like to give those to Pop and say, hey, let's do something with these that we can help the charity.
100%. And he says amazing thank you, so he heard you, and I'll definitely talk to him before tomorrow when I'm setting everything up and putting it together. So appreciate that.
One last thing real quick. Bob, I want your opinion on this. I know, the New York Stock Exchange, we finally got somebody in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Finally. Long time deserved. But and I know you're kind of a historian, and this is pre or post Joe Namath, but will Mark Gastineau ever get a vote?
He'll get a vote. I don't know if he's going to get voted in. I've said here before that I think Gastineau deserves to get into the Hall of Fame because he really made the sack a very sexy thing.
Absolutely.
Whether you liked his antics or not, and to me, after he did it a couple of times, it started to wear thin on me. But the guy for a handful of years was clearly and far and away, the most disruptive, pass rusher in the NFL. And yet they couldn't stop him. As long as he was healthy, he was a force. And with Joe on the other side, that was something. Hey, I wanted to ask you, go get to Edwards for a minute. I respect your opinion on stuff.
Lord.
What does Jonathan Edwards, briefly, lack
Donovan.
in your mind from being on the 53?
Well, obviously, I being a Michigan fan, I watched him up in Michigan also.
Mhm.
And he played really good against subpar players. Okay. When he got to play against an Ohio State, which had NFL caliber players, when he played against, some other, he looked average. Okay. And that's in college. If you're going to look average in college, you're probably not going, and that's why he went undrafted. I mean, I'm not, he never broke 1,000 yards in college. He wasn't a big receiving back. He averaged 20 catches, maybe 25 catches a season. That's not huge in college. So there's nothing that he excels at. Kind of reminds me of Michael Carter. But not as good as. Remember when? We all remember Michael Carter. Yeah,
Sure.
it reminds me of Michael Carter, except for not as good. And so I just don't see him have. There's just not a role. I mean, Isaiah Davis is way ahead of him. Obviously, Allen is, and Allen and Brees are they're on different pages than, and so he like I said, even Isaiah Davis is leaps and bounds ahead of Donovan.
Indy, if he played as well in a preseason 2 and 3 as he did in 1, do you think his shot changes at all?
I don't think he makes our team because 3 good running backs like this, they're not going to keep. I just don't see them keeping a 4th. I think that what may happen is they'll release him. He'll go into waivers, and he'll go on to he may go as a excuse me, a 3rd running back on a running back depleted team. Cincinnati or something like that. He could make a 3rd running back on Cincinnati. I don't think that he's going to make it. And if he clears waivers, sure, bring him back on the practice squad. But I don't see, and I'm not disrespecting Donovan. He showed some flashes. He showed some flashes, and that's great. And every year we have those players. We had Bam Knight. We're always high on this 3rd and 4th string running back during preseason because these guys look great.
Hey, Andy, can I just throw something up on the screen here? Because there's all this Donovan Edwards hate. I pulled this up from Donovan from this wonderful season. This is going to be difficult to read with how I did this, so I'll try to get a better version of this in a second. Against Ohio State, he had 216 rushing yards on 22 carries, 9.8 per clip, and 2 touchdowns. In the conference championship against Purdue in that same season, he had 185 yards rushing, 7.4 per clip. The TCU and the college football semifinal in what was the quote unquote Fiesta Bowl, he had another 119 yards rushing. There's a lot of really good tape here against some really good opponents.
Yeah, but but you got to realize he got beaten out in 23 and 24 by other guys who came onto the squad,
which is why he went undrafted. But this 2022 season is the one that was
Michigan's. But that Michigan's coaching staff thought was superior to him the last 2 years of his college career.
And wasn't that Ohio State game the one where J.J. McCarthy threw like 9 times?
It could have very well been if he was running this often. That could have certainly been. But what would that mean? I think we lost you there for a second. Andy, can you hear us?
Are you back? Am I back now?
Yeah. We can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, I just don't think the guy is like I said, every year we have these running backs that look great in camp, that come undrafted, but they're just not NFL caliber guys. And I don't, there's a reason why 32 teams passed him up 7 times. But I think he could possibly make a running back depleted team as a 3rd running back, but just not this. The Jets have a great stable of running backs.
They do, unquestionably.
And taking up a roster spot, we need backups at defensive tackle. You need as many guys because we don't even know who they are yet. I mean, and so they're going to They're
I
gonna
would say
hold
this.
probably what 10 or 12 defensive tackles on the roster.
I'm probably not defensive tackle, so I'm sure you're talking about defensive linemen.
Defensive
I don't
line,
know.
yeah, just defensive
Yeah.
line in general. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
probably.
so
I don't know if it goes up that high to 11 or 12. Like Salah in his heyday had 10 on the roster. So we'll see. The other thing I would say is for people that are debating in the comment section is that the Jets have 3 roster locks at running back. It is Breece Hall, it is Braylon Allen, it is Isaiah Davis. Isaiah Davis, for the people saying he's a practice squad guy, I don't see that at all. I think he's 100% making the roster. And the question is, would the Jets keep a quote unquote 4th running back? Because Andrew Beck looks like he's making the team, so he's in the fullback, running back, tight end, whatever category.
There you
go. And I'm a big Donovan Edwards guy. I would try to make it happen because the Jets are running the ball so much. I'd rather keep a 4th running back than a 7th receiver, however the numbers are going to work. I'd be willing to shave off another position to keep Donovan.
Well,
Yeah,
everything that they're talking about now is that the 4th running back is probably going to be the kick returner.
And if that's true, then it's Kane Nguanu, right? It would be Donovan, I guess. So
yeah. So if Jonathan makes the team, it's 5. Unless they again, I see him as a change of pace back. I don't see him coming in and carrying 10 times a game.
Who's that?
But isn't that what Isaiah Davis does?
What?
It be that change of pace guy. I mean, between Breece and Allen, Isaiah Davis is that guy that comes in and is the change of pace guy. So I don't see a role in what Donovan Edwards can do that Isaiah Davis can't do.
That's fair.
Okay.
All right, yeah. Indy, as requested, you called because again, I said, Bob, I don't know if you should do this, and he went, Indy, wherever you are, and he called you in here, and I don't know if he was ready for that smoke, but I will tell you this, in all seriousness, no, that's super cool of you on the Wounded Warrior Project. Thank you so much for donating that. My dad is really moved by it, and that's.
And if he knows of some older Ewo guys, and I'll even look around here, I'll check with the Legion that I go to here. If he knows of any, I'll try to get a couple of Ewo guys to play on it, sign it, do like we did before. That's it's really special for them to see that and to play it, and so. But if Pop knows of any, and if I need to get him to UBG or get him to Pops early,
we'll figure it out.
So we can do that. We'll figure that out. But I just wanted to show you that, and let's see. Let's see what we can do, and if Pops knows some people outside, if he auction them off outside of this what we're doing here, great. For me, I don't care what Pops does with them.
Yeah, it's all charity, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely, and we can help. We can do whatever we can, guys. But Bob, I appreciate you. It's always good to see you on a Friday. We look forward to having you. Sometimes we bust each other's chops, but. I am right there with you. We need to figure out how to get Matt Snell back in the green again. Bring back Matt into the green.
Keep busting it. Keep busting.
There you go. ND Jets joining us here on the show. All right, Bob, that'll wrap up our program here. We got 430 people in the room. Thank you so much. Like the video, hit subscribe. Bob's enjoying all kinds of festivities. He decided to take Boy Green Daily on the road. I'm glad this has become a regular part of your week here, Bob. It's a lot of fun, and the fans really enjoy it, so thank you.
I tell you what, I enjoy it. It puts a kick in my step. I enjoy talking about Jets football and talking about the past and talking about the present, and hopefully I'm getting a little bit smarter as we go along.
Well, I only hope I could try to do that too, but no guarantees on me getting smarter, but I will try, and we'll see where it goes from there. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us here on the show again. 421 people watching on the show right now, including over 100 on YouTube. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe, and I will be back on in about an hour talking fantasy football with our guy Joe Bartle and Jim Lurch. Thanks, everybody, and take care.